Black Magic Woman podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this episode on. We also acknowledge traditional owners of the land where you, the listener or viewer, are tuning in from. We would like to pay our respects to our elders past and present and acknowledge that this always was Aboriginal land and always will be Aboriginal land.
This episode is proudly brought to you by ANZ, a new series of conversations with different mob around the country to yarn about meaningful career opportunities within ANZ, building the capacity of Indigenous businesses and organisations, and helping individuals in the broader community to achieve financial wellbeing and resilience.
Welcome to the Black Magic Woman podcast with Mandanara Bales.
Hello, you mob, and welcome to another episode of the Black Magic Woman podcast. I'm here on beautiful Yagara Turrbal land, which is Brisbane. For people that are not familiar with Yagara Turrbal country, the beautiful Mardawa River is right down the road from me, actually. I can see it if I walk out of this studio. I'm here today with an amazing guest, and it's part of the ANZ Black Magic Woman Partnership Series. We're talking to ANZ customers, employees, partners about the different products and services and initiatives that ANZ provide. So my guest today, it's been a while in the making. I ran into you at Supply Nation 2022 and you jumped on the podcast for like a couple of minutes.
Yes.
And I said, Braz, we need a proper yarn, and here we are today making it happen thanks to ANZ. So Jack Reis, my brother, thanks for giving up some of your time to be on the podcast. For our listeners and also our viewers on YouTube, can you do an introduction? So who's your mob and a little bit about where you grew up?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Mandanara, and thank you, ANZ, because everything that's possible. And just to paint a picture, while I'm sitting here, I'm looking around in the booth we are recording in. First time for me, and it feels, for me, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but I love it because I don't know, it's just different. It's just different. So my name's Jack Reis. I am Badulag. My heritage stems back to Badu Island in Zenith Kes, which we also know as the Torres Straits. I just think about the land where I'm from. If you can picture the most bluest blue seas, and on a backdrop there is a luscious green line of coconut trees and golden sand, that's a place that I get to call home. Fishing, crayfishing, diving.
Stop. My mouth is watering.
Fun. Yeah.
Crayfish is
Crayfish.
my go-to.
Uh-huh.
And everyone keeps telling me, we'll come to the Torres Strait and
Yeah.
there's plenty.
Yes.
Plenty.
Yes. Plenty.
So you grew up, tell me, you grew up there or you born on the mainland? Which way?
No, so I was born on Thursday Island.
Okay.
Lived up on Thursday Island for 4 years. I was really starting to learn the lingo. So moved down when I was young, and
What
between
do they call it? Uplatuk.
New Plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kalalagaya was my language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not just lingo. That's a proper language, then.
That's the language group.
Is it the Western Island?
Western region.
There you go.
Wa.
I
yes.
know a little bit.
Yes. They're too good. Well, the business that we'll get to talk about,
Yeah.
Baidam Solutions, is the word for shark in my language.
And is it your totem?
No, my
No.
totem's Tupmo, which is stingray.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've been learning a little bit about Torres Strait culture because in Aboriginal culture, which people need to know that we're very different peoples, right? Two different cultures or ethnicities even, right?
Of course.
With the Aboriginal totem system, we can't eat our totem.
Yes.
And in your culture, it's the opposite.
Yes.
So that's why a lot of
Yes.
people are I would say, not like, interested, because I would love more people to be interested about our cultures, but they kind of would never know that there's especially that difference with totems.
It's amazing, isn't it, how geographical locations have different rules, different ways of life. And you're spot on. One of the key diets in the Torres Straits is turtle dugong and a big plate of rice.
Yes.
you can't have it without it. But also fish and potatoes and yams. When you cast your mind back to our ancestors, that's all that we ate. So it was all from the ocean, all from the land. Rice was introduced, and when we think about
Is it the Japanese, the pearl
divers?
the
That's
pearling
right.
industry
Yeah.
that took off in the Torres Strait?
That's right.
And there's also the princess from like the 19th century is buried on one of the islands.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know
need
that.
to Google it.
I have to Google
So
that.
when they were bombing Darwin, they were told not to drop a bomb on Thursday Island because that's where the princess from Japan is buried.
There you go.
So if you ever see some of these Torres Strait mob with Japanese last names.
Yes.
So my nephew, my sister's son,
Yes.
his name is Yamakani.
With Japanese.
And that's Japanese. Now,
Yes.
Yamakani's grandfather was a Japanese man from the Torres Strait.
There you go.
So all these influences, when you said rice,
Yes.
it made me think then of Japanese, maybe they brought it, but also through Sri Lanka and India, they brought those divers to the Torres
Yes.
Strait as well for pearls.
It's amazing the history that we have and culturally around the world, the role it plays into even you and I sitting here now. The amount of variables that history had to go through
Yeah.
for us to be here now.
Yeah,
In this
and
point in
just
time.
that multiculturalism
Yes.
in the Torres Strait. So there's all different, even these young football players with the last names.
Yes. Shibasaki.
Yes.
Shibasaki. Yes.
And I love the fact that, here we are today, highlighting and profiling and letting the world know about your beautiful homelands.
Thank
I was
you.
just going to
Thank
say
you.
quickly that the Torres Strait 8, there's been some, I wouldn't say, advocacy around climate change and the seas
course.
rising
Yes,
in the
of
Torres
course.
Strait. So your island in particular,
Yeah.
is it Thursday Island? Because there's outer islands.
Correct.
For people that don't know about the Torres
Correct.
Strait, Thursday Island is Aboriginal land or waters,
Horn Island, Thursday
Horn
Island.
Island.
Yes.
and they are the Currarug.
Yes.
People.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So where's your people from there?
No, so I was born on
Born
Waiben,
there, yeah.
Waiben, which is Thursday Island. Badu, so if for everyone listening, the star that sits in our Torres Strait Islander flag within the headrest is a 5-pointer star, and that represents the 5 regions of the Torres Strait Islands. I'm the western region, and the island I'm from is Badu. So it's north of Thursday Island,
Yeah.
one of the larger islands in the Torres Straits, and that's
Yeah.
where I'm from. So you mentioned Nona.
Yes.
Armat is my family. We had 2 big families on the island.
There you go. Small world, eh?
Small world. Probably related to Henry.
You
Mulla
probably
Henry.
are. So I was just going to say, in terms of then coming to the mainland, what age was you when you left, and where did you end up?
I was young. Between southwest Queensland, which is where I ended up, and back to Badu Island. I travelled regularly between the 2 towns. I ended up in a small town called Tara. So mum and dad were on a property. There's a town called Chinchilla in Tara, and smack bang in the middle was where I grew up.
Okay, so when in terms of people not knowing kind of Queensland,
Yes,
Chinchilla's near Toowoomba, like Toowoomba, going out that way.
Toowoomba Dolby, head west.
Okay,
Head west,
easy.
yeah.
So Tara's a little
Small
town. Yeah.
Pakurakuba.
And there's a lot of like tomato picking, like cotton, like in that Chinchilla area.
Cotton.
It's cotton.
Cotton, not tomato.
Not tomatoes.
Cotton, a lot of wheat country, and then you have your cattle, sheep farming.
Okay.
But it's your typical local small town, country town.
What took you to Tara? From Torres Strait to Tara?
from the islands to the desert, I'll call it.
Yeah.
The desert, yeah.
To the outback?
I think it was built around this idea, and this was 20 years ago. When I reflect now, it's to give. I have one sibling, one younger sibling, my sister. Shout out to Kudus. It was built around this idea of opportunity, and when I think about a lot of brothers and sisters back on the islands, beautiful untouched land. Sometimes the opportunity for jobs, the opportunity for education, health. Much of the things we see in Closing the Gap report, I think the idea was to try and provide an opportunity for my sister and me and myself. And mum and dad sacrificed a move from the islands, you move away from family.
Your support
That's
system,
a connection.
your
That's a
networks.
connection, yeah. You move away from that for your children. I'm very grateful that occurred. We would travel home regularly back up to the Straits to reconnect.
Ceremonies.
Of course.
Birthdays.
Tombstone openings.
Tombstone
all
openings.
Of that. But on reflection, I feel a little bit of sadness, but I am grateful, really grateful for, I guess, my journey in life. I'm very lucky, sis, very lucky for my journey.
And you're a father?
I'm a father of 3.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 3
Don't
boys.
forget that.
Infinite energy, 3 boys. I was chatting to Clint
What
earlier this morning
ages?
about it. They're 10, 8 and 5. 3 boys.
Yes. And your partner?
My wife, yes, happily
Yeah.
married.
Happily married,
yes,
yeah.
of course. 6, 7 years, coming on 8 now. And again, that builds a lot of, when I think about my life and reflecting, sis, around everything that occurred had to happen, even to the point where, I'd had so many failures and failed businesses in my voyage. That needed to occur for me to have this one successful venture. Mm-hmm. People don't see that. People don't see the heartache and the challenges. When my wife and I had kids, we're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
But
The struggle's real.
The struggle's
The
real.
hustle's real.
Hustle. You'd line up at one of the grocery stores and go, is this card going to go through? And you'd tap it and it'd go through.
I know. I still say to my husband, today, he says, it's been a while since I've had to think about that.
Yes.
Or look at the price of petrol. Like it kind of, before you drive
Yeah.
a couple of suburbs or wait to midweek or something.
Hope it had
fill
dropped
up.
10 cents. Save that.
But
save
all
that $5.
our family and friends that are still kind of, they're in that grind, they're still
Yes.
hustling.
Yes.
So, Braz, tell me about maybe the first business. Like what
Oh.
age was you and what was it that you started? I'm so interested to hear.
Where do I start? And the entrepreneurial bone in my body, it comes from my parents. And again, it's about this. You see it, you believe it, you embody what you see, and all of that.
You become a product of your environment.
Your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with most.
Yeah.
And I knew innately within me, all I wanted to do was own a company, own a business, be a leader. And when I say leader, that's not something you just arrive at and go, I'm a leader. It's something that's always evolving and you have to work on it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what. I didn't know where to start. I just had to start. And some of the ideas I had, I tried my hand at social media. What is it? Social media
digital marketing and stuff. Yeah.
But the social media entrepreneurs, or there's a term for them now.
Influencer.
I tried my hand at a social media influencer. I hated it. I had to do like a live video blog every day, and every day I dreaded it. And
I've never done a live video blog, but hey, there's people out there that are making some pretty good money.
It works. There's there's an industry.
Yeah, live video blogs and promoting products and stuff.
Yeah.
So you had to go at that.
Had to go at that. The fitness. I mean, the fitness. That for me, it was built around health and well-being for mob.
Yeah.
We know that there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
So then I tried my hand at PT. I think everyone kind of goes down that path.
Yeah.
Cert 2, Cert 3,
Yeah.
Cert 4, whatever.
Got into it. Thought
Get into
I
it.
could probably do this. And then which way did you end up doing it?
I did my certs, and then again it was kind of I wanted to do it so I could just be in the gym.
Of course.
And then
Why not?
Not actually train and market it. So then that was a failed venture, or should I say a learning venture.
Yeah.
Then after that, I went to selling hats.
Stop.
Yeah, crazy. Hey,
Selling hats.
you know why?
Why?
Because I loved wearing the American sporting hat and merch. That's why.
How long are we going back now?
Oh, geez.
selling hats?
We're talking 2012, 2013.
Wow.
What I learned from that, though, is that all the hats I would stock were the hats I loved. Not the market. It wasn't what the market wanted, but I liked them. And then all of a sudden I noticed, I went, geez, I got all this stock and I can't move it.
Okay.
And then each failure, but I'll call learnings, then taught me something. Your stock, your wholesale price, your retail, your sale price, and all that.
But learning about the market and doing that research.
Yes.
I started a business and I didn't do no research at all.
Yes.
Right? Started this podcast without doing any research.
Deadly.
And we recorded one episode, or we released an episode every day. When we first launched Black Magic Woman, we released one ep a day and we did 21 days straight. And someone said to me, you don't need to drop an episode every day.
Every day.
And they don't need to be an hour long. And I was like, well, we are in lockdown. What else can I do?
Yeah.
So I learnt the industry over time.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And got better. And now we drop weekly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do fortnightly, get people to kind of, look forward to the next episode.
Yes.
And then we cut them a bit shorter because we don't really need to talk for a whole hour. Yeah. And I've actually been able to kind of save money and cost in terms of production. Right? So there's
resources.
There you go.
Yes,
You can learn on the go.
Yep.
Or you can have a go and still keep trying. So you went from hats to
hats. And everything I did. There's I'm laughing.
You haven't thought about this for a long time.
I haven't. I have not. And it's on reflect. You know how mob go. We go, sis. There's this interconnectedness through physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being. Reflection is a big part of our pausing and stopping and understanding how we got from point A to point B. I'm laughing inside so loud. Some of the videos I did, I had friends text me saying, "Are you for real? What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I can't do it. I just can't keep doing it." The
and
live
your mates say that's where the honesty.
Yeah,
right. If you want to try something, talk to your mates and get your feedback from your mates. There's your research, right?
Do it. Yes. See, I'll just do a live post and see who responds to it.
How many people are liking it?
I know, nerve-wracking every time. But sorry. So, running in parallel to my failed ventures and businesses.
Your learnings.
Sorry, my learnings was, I guess, the education piece that I had to go through. So, I have jobs. We all have jobs. I think we've all at some point in time, you graduate from high school or school and you go, oh, it's the real world. You mean I have to get up at 6 a.m. to start work and I have to start paying rent? I have to do that. These are the what my parents taught me around resilience, tenacity, confidence, and just the life fundamentals. It's a real smack in the face, hey.
Yeah, that we don't learn at school, though.
No, we don't learn that at school.
No.
A lot
and
we don't learn
in some home environments, we're not even learning that at home.
Yes,
especially for Aboriginal and Torres Strait young people.
Yes.
And our history in this country where we've been kind of locked out of the economy.
Yeah.
And excluded from society because of policies.
Yep.
So education, the focus, and my mum and dad were very big on finishing year 12. You've got to get to year 12. You've got to finish year 12.
Yeah.
If you don't go to university, that's okay. But it was always this big emphasis on finishing school.
Yeah.
And for a lot of non-Indigenous listeners, like a lot of people don't think that as Aboriginal people and as an Aboriginal mother, we've got the same expectations, if not higher expectations and standards for our kids because of that. Such a long time in our country's history that we have been excluded. So for some of us that have been fortunate enough to have a mum and dad being able to access opportunities and to also support us to get through school, and if we can get to university, even deadlier. It's not for all of us.
No.
So did you go to uni?
I did. I didn't finish.
No. I'm gonna graduate this year.
Good.
With a grad cert instead of the masters.
Yes.
But I know that I can always go back and do those 2 extra subjects.
Yeah.
But I'm 40
and
now doing a university degree.
Yeah.
So it's not too late for some of us.
No. It is never late. And my goal is to one day finish uni. Mm-hmm. Not yet.
What'd you study?
Not yet. Finance.
Okay.
Finance.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a theme here, right, with ANZ. I applied my trade in the financial institution.
Yeah.
From there, I moved into the government space, and I was working for the federal government around business analyst work, investments, private equities, mergers and acquisitions. That gave me the fundamentals of business. So when I share the learnings and what's another word for failed business?
Challenges.
Challenges, yeah. Businesses that didn't work.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, sis. This part I can't explain. I knew my whole life what I wanted to do. That was to own a business and a company. I didn't know what it was or where it was going to be situated. There was a point in my life where I remember distinctly, so vividly, laying in bed going, Jack, and this was after another failed learning venture, you've done it. At least you can say you've tried. Just put it to bed, do your full-time job now, and just be good at it. Enjoy your rest. You tried it. See ya. Yeah. And it was almost like this. When the second I let it go, it's all the universe and the attraction of what I wanted to do landed in my lap. Just bang. And after I told everyone, including my wife, who is one of my hugest supporters, by the way.
Of course.
But when I told her, she was like, okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, let's just get on with it. This opportunity lands on my lap, and I'm like, oh, hey, you know how I said I wasn't going to chase
I've put this to bed.
Yeah. Something's come up, and
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
The entrepreneur is at it again.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Was it Bydam Solutions?
Bydam Solutions.
What is this business? Tell us about it.
We are a cybersecurity consultancy, a First Nations owned, led and run cybersecurity consultancy. We are, and you said, sis, before, our ability and access to the market where typically we are shut out. Mm-hmm. Early on in our business venture, it was challenging. You know, in theory, you've got this great idea, Indigenous procurement policies, reconciliation action plans. If we are in a blue ocean strategy mindset thinking, we should be able to win business straight away. That wasn't the case.
Yeah. Even though you're a black business, right? People think, well, you must get all this support and grants and free money from the government. That's one of the biggest myths and misconceptions I've got to deal with every day, talking to non-Aboriginal people on the plane, in an Uber, about being a successful black business. And success means that, for me, success is the fact that I've been able to buy a house. That to me was like, if I can buy a house, then I've made it, right? For me, that was my kind of definition of success, right? For you, starting this company, and now how many years are you in business? How many years has it been?
6 years.
6 years. So you would say that it's a mature business now?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're not just in startup mode?
Yeah, we've overcome the odds of, was it 80% of small to medium enterprises
shut
fail
down in the first 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. So we've overcome. We traded through COVID, and we are proudly free of any government grant.
There you go.
So
I must say, I did apply for the COVID grant, and I kept all my staff on my books, not one person. And we had nothing to do though, right? So starting a podcast, I was like, okay, well now you can work on getting guests for the podcast as your admin hours. Yes. So I was able to pivot. My business model from consulting and training to podcasting, to then keep my staff still today through those hard times and not kind of, get rid of anyone. But you're in cybersecurity.
Yes.
So tell us, like, in terms of how did you, well, first, congratulations on winning the inaugural, right? Supply Nation Indigenous Entrepreneur of the Year Award. That was pretty deadly in 2022.
Can I say congratulations to you as well, 2023?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's not easy, these award nominations.
It's not.
There's a lot of work that goes into
a lot.
Preparation and all the evidence. There's a whole lot of things that you need to do to demonstrate or meet the criteria.
Yeah.
So how do you run your business at cybersecurity? Do you work from home? Or you got an office?
Bit of both, yeah.
Bit of both. So you got an office.
Travel plays a role in that as well.
Yes.
So you have to be nimble. Take a laptop. You can work on a plane.
You can do your work anywhere.
Anywhere,
which is good.
Exactly.
And how big is your team?
So we have 35 staff
Far out.
Yeah. If you want to include our contractors,
Of
we're at
course.
about
That's your payroll.
70 people.
70 people on your books.
Started with 2 from the lobby of the Hilton in
Yep.
Brisbane.
Yep. I love the lobby.
We-
Mine, literally, my first meetings were at the coffee club at Cannon Hill.
Yeah,
And all my meetings, because I had no office.
exactly.
So you're in the lobby at the Hilton.
Lobby of the Hilton.
I love this.
Because we are a black business doesn't discriminate, doesn't care for the colour of your skin. So, again, my journey in my learnings and also my job and I guess education gave me the fundamentals of business, understanding cash flow, understanding the ATO. You have to do your BAS, you have to do your IAS and pay your tax bill.
You have to.
You have to.
Otherwise, you're not going to last.
You're
You're going to
not.
get shut down.
If you do not want the ATO coming after you, pay the bills.
Pay the bills, get a good accountant.
A good accountant, yes. Make sure you get a good accountant. You
Get a good
have to.
accountant.
Yes, that knows accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bookkeeping helps.
Definitely helps. And know your numbers. And it's been a
Yes.
journey for me to even take interest in my balance sheet and my P&L. But you know what? Over the years, I'm starting to go, hey, we spent more the last quarter, this quarter.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's, I didn't study business. I didn't have any, I would say I didn't have a passion to be in business. It just accidentally happened.
Exactly.
And I ended up in business.
Yeah.
And now I've, been able to employ mob and I've been able to kind of
Exactly.
do other things, like being in business gives you that financial freedom to maybe fund a side hustle like a podcast.
Yes.
So I've been
Love
lucky
it.
to do something that I love.
We're so similar.
It doesn't
I'm
make
just
money, but it's
thinking.
okay because it's an opportunity for me to have a yarn with someone like you.
Yeah.
And for people
Yeah.
like ANZ to see the value of, partnering with Black Magic Woman and showcasing Black excellence.
Yes.
So tell me
Yes.
now, you won a contract, a multi-year contract
Yeah.
with ANZ,
Multi-year contract.
and you provide cybersecurity software.
Software.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on. That's it. It's
To a bank.
To a bank. Wow. To a bank. Yeah, I've got to pause and think about that because when you say to a bank,
That's massive.
That's not
this
easy.
is global. It's breaking like all these just stereotypes about
Yes.
what black fellas have done,
Yes.
achieved, how much we have contributed to
Yes.
this beautiful country that's now known as Australia, and how much we contribute back to our community, our families.
Of course.
We're keeping our culture alive within how we do business as well.
There's a ripple effect. It's just that goes back to community. Now you think about cybersecurity. Think about one of the world's oldest living cultures. We were the first threat hunters, right? You apply storytelling, and then put that into context of cyber. Education is a huge part of. Don't click the link. That looks suspicious. If you click that, you'll give access to the hackers or the bad people trying to get what they want, data. What the principles on which Bidem Solutions is founded on and built on is built around First Nations principles. Because we already have this innate understanding to protect our land, sea and country. Now apply that to cyber, protect Australia's data and digital resources. And cyber is an evolving landscape. It will be here for a while, I think, and it'll always be evolving. So the idea around Bidem Solutions was to not only be a capable solution provider, and we want to be assessed on capability and our merit. And when you think about ANZ, a bank, we have to go through, like any other supplier or any other provider to ANZ, we have to go through that procurement process. Do you have your insurances? Do you have your policies? Do you have your OHS? What about this? What if you're breach? What if they're breach? What if our suppliers are breach? What do you have in place? What's your business continuity plan?
Yeah.
There's so much to go through, and
that kind of
we
risk
had to go through
mitigation because it's a bank.
100%. It is a bank. When you think about the blue logo, it's a commodity. Everyone knows that blue ANZ logo is ANZ.
Yeah.
So who are they partnering with to ensure that their brand is not damaged in any way.
Of course.
So-
And they have a lot of customers.
Exactly.
We bank with them. They look
There's-
after my business needs.
Yep.
They've got deadly Indigenous business bankers now
Yes.
that look
Yes.
after me. I'm ringing a black
Yes,
fella.
yeah. They're Indigenous small banking services.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
ringing a
yes.
black fella now and yarning when my business banker was at Maroochydore. You know, she's deadly,
good.
white woman. But now I can ring a black fella and say, look, I'm like,
good.
you know, having a bit of a tough time here. I've just got through Christmas. It
Yeah,
was very
yeah.
quiet. Can you give me some options? What are my options? So just to know that I've got them there for
And
me
the
is
backing
like,
and support.
I honestly feel like I'm not alone.
Yep, agreed.
I'm not alone, even though I'm the sole owner of the black card, but I'm not alone, and I
Yeah.
can ring them and ask them about anything,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I don't feel judged.
No.
I don't feel shame,
You shouldn't.
and to know that I don't understand banking, financial terminology and language and stuff like that. So sometimes we kind of don't know how to speak to people because we feel like it's just not our language.
No, you reach out. Hey, you
You know what I mean?
if you're yarning, what help you got? That's what I need. Don't just explain it to me like I'm a 10-year-old back in school.
Yep.
What do you need from me to help get whatever it is I
Yes.
need for the business?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we're entrepreneurs. There's a different way of thinking. You know, you don't want to be bombarded or tied down with jargon, and that's across all industries, not just banking. You know, it could be legal, it can be whatever. But when I mentioned the Indigenous small banking services and the easy to understand language, you know, when it's mob talking to mob,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah,
understanding.
just talk to me normal.
Just yarn.
Don't use
Just
these
yarn.
big
Yeah,
words.
that's right. Yeah. Just yarn to me. Hey, that's too big, that word. Go back.
So how's it been working with ANZ? Like, tell us, is there things for a lot of our mob that you just want to say, hey, you know, I don't know, any learnings,
Yeah.
anything in particular that you want to kind of mention or thank or acknowledge?
There's okay. So there's a few. Yes, of course, there is. There's always people to acknowledge who have helped me along my way, businesses to acknowledge who understand the value proposition, the what we do. That's no question, the capability and the merits, but the why we do it. That's why we exist. And customers such as ANZ Bank, you understand that value proposition, that ethos of the organisation. For anyone out there who's looking to start a business, be tenacious, believe in yourself. It is a belief system. I mean, one of the things we do, Sis, at Buy Them Solutions, we're trying to open the world of possibilities into cybersecurity. You know, our mob, we have plenty of sports stars, role models in the media that we aspire to. I mean, I was part of that mindset. Yeah, I wanted to be an NRL star. Here's a contract. I had a contract. I need to be injured, and my trajectory in life changed in an instant, straight away. What we're trying to do is create the same role model for cyber and IT to say, hey, if you don't want to kick a football like JT or shoot a basketball like Paddy Mills, shout out to Paddy Mills, or Ash Barty, tennis, and you'd rather game and code, come and talk to me.
All right.
That's what we're trying to. Now, for anyone who wants to start a business, you just need to believe in yourself. You need to understand that innovation sometimes does come with resistance. And what I mean by that, okay, let me give you an example. It is taxi drivers resisted against Uber. Hotel chains resisted against Airbnb. And I did take a couple of notes here around movies resist Netflix. So when Buy Them Solutions came around as a secure, capable technology solutions provider that can achieve your Indigenous procurement policies for the government or your reconciliation action plans for private sector, people second guess that. Oh, you're a black washing machine. No, you don't do it for the right reasons. You know, there's always this fearful factor.
Yeah.
Always this, yeah. Fast forward to today, we've funded 3 lifetime scholarships from the commercial engine of Buy Them Solutions to the tune of around 52% of our profits we've given back to date.
Wow.
So you mentioned before this ripple effect that goes back to community and that multiplier impact. So you can procure goods and services from a large global systems integrator, or you can procure it from Buy Them Solutions, and you will get the impact that goes back to communities.
Well, they say, and the evidence is there, about every $1 that you spend with an Indigenous business, the social impact equals $4.41.
Spot on. Exactly.
We give back to our community.
Yes.
And not only that, we are 100 times more likely to employ our own mob.
Yes.
That's one way that we can close the gap.
Yes.
Right? And all those social determinants around health, education, unemployment, mental health, all of those things that impact our mob, right? When we're in a job, I always say that one job in one household, one Indigenous household, one job can change the complete narrative of that house.
Yes.
And it just sets, the young people, it sets them up, for success.
Agreed.
They have hope. They've got role models. They understand the opportunities, and they're able to reach their full potential.
Yeah.
As young Indigenous people, having those, role models.
You have it.
Yeah.
We don't need to be the owner of poverty anymore. That was shared to me a couple of years ago, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes it was this shame factor. I don't want to drive this flash car into community because mob will be like, hey, look at you, where are you making money from? No. I want to change the mindset, okay? Yeah. These kids who grow up and their whole life they dream about, I want to play for the Broncos. I want to play for the Brisbane Lions. Let's flip that narrative, because that's a short lifespan if you make it.
If you make it.
And if you make it, the average time or lifespan of a professional sports person is 2 years or less.
Yeah.
It's just a mathematical equation we're on the wrong side of. How about flip the narrative to go, well, instead of playing for the Broncos or Brisbane Lions, you want to own the Broncos and the Brisbane Lions.
Or sponsor them.
Sponsor.
Black businesses sponsoring these big teams.
You don't, that's exactly. So we don't have to be
deadly too.
The owner of poverty. So I'm trying to, and I'm going through that development myself too, sis, right? If I want to drive the flash car, I got to stop and pause and go, well, I'm actually being a role model, because there'll be some kid in the community that goes, Bala Jack, he's driving a Range Rover or a Porsche or a Lamborghini. Yeah. How did you get that?
Yeah,
I want to do that. Yeah, I can see how our sports stars are kicking footballs, but that's not me. Maybe I'm business, I'm entrepreneur. Yeah. How do I get that car? Come yarn to me. That's when we start, introducing people with the role models. We have to embody that.
That's exactly. Everyday mob
that
are doing things that maybe people don't know that we exist.
Exactly.
Maybe people don't know that we live in the same community as them. So how do people usually get in contact with you? Are you... Social media is big.
Social media is big.
Do people usually find you online? Is it LinkedIn, Instagram? Which way? Where are you spending your time?
I'm in cyber. I try. I'm quite private, sis.
Yeah.
I lead a private life. I see some of the. There's the good to cyber. There's also the bad.
Yeah.
So I don't post much on social media. Okay. I rarely post much on LinkedIn. I know it plays its role. I'm getting better at it as well.
Yes.
But you can, people who have my number, share it. I will take a phone call at the drop of a pin. If you have my email me. You're welcome to share it, Jack, J-A-C-K, @buythem.com.au. Again, you go on this life journey and you try and figure out, why do I exist? Why am I here? I'm here to give. Whether it's through cyber solutions or to help somebody on their trajectory to whatever it is, reach out. Health role model, 12 months. I've committed to no drinking because business, I can't afford to lose time anymore. My currency's flipped from the dollar to time. I'm missing my kids grow up, so I'm trying to get a bit of that time back.
Work-life balance.
It's a work in progress.
I'm loving it. I want to sit here and yarn more, and I'm looking forward to another opportunity to sit down and yarn and see, how can we work together? How do I plug in some of the things that I'm doing, the community work that I do, the Murray School. I sit on the board of the Murray School. Yeah. So, brother, I'm going to be reaching out to you.
Yeah, of course.
And see how can I even connect people to Baidam. In particular, my son Lameki, who I know. We'll be really interested to have a yarn with you. But look, I am so pleased that we finally got to sit here and have this yarn. Thank you so much to ANZ for giving us the opportunity to be able to promote some of the best black businesses in this country. So on that note, my bala. Big eso.
Thanks, sis. Eso too. Game eso.
On that note, I hope you've enjoyed this deadly yarn. Until next time, bye for now.
If you'd like to know more about how ANZ can help improve your financial well-being or help you start, run or grow your business, visit anz.com or call 1314.
A big shout out to all you Deadly Mob and allies who continue to listen, watch and support our podcast. Your feedback means the world. You can rate and review the podcast on Apple and Spotify, or even head to our socials and YouTube channel and drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. The Black Magic Woman podcast is produced by Clint Curtis.